Good morning, everyone. Not morning where you're at? That's okay, because you can have eggs for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Welcome to episode 33 of Three Eggs Are Better Than One. I am Brad Stanton, along with fellow eggs Matt M. and Brian Haremza. We would like to thank everybody for the awesome comments, the feedback, everything from last week. It was an artificial intelligence kind of day. But I know I'm happy. I know Brian's happy. And I know Matt's happy. But Bryant, what is your sunny side up this week?
Sunny side up this week is a celebration right here where I live. It is called Nebraska Land Days. It is a continuation of the Buffalo Bill Wild West shows that happened that Buffalo Bill took on tour all around the world. And this is the continuation of that festival into the new millennium, into the now times. Currently, we are in rodeo week. Next week is a whole bunch of little activities around town and our big concerts on the weekend. So for me, sunny side up is going out, having fun at Nebraska Land Days through 2 weeks of fun events and just enjoying seeing all the people coming out to celebrate.
It's not the same Buffalo Bill that's in Silence of the Lambs?
Different one than that.
Okay, good.
Different one than
not celebrating him.
Not celebrating that, yeah. But no, it's a fun 2-week event. The rodeo is actually part of the Professional Rodeos Association, so it's a PRCA event. So pro cowboys come out, bull riders, horse riders come out. It's a lot of fun for activities.
I mean, Matt, NRA is not Little League, but it's something we can get behind, right?
I mean, it sounds all right. Are there a lot of corn contests?
There are not. We do like cowboy kickball. We do a lot of drinking as well.
Sorry, what was that?
Cowboy kickball.
Let's hear what that is.
It's just a kickball tournament. But they ask you if you want to make it more interesting, you come out dressed as cowboys. So you wear boots, plaid shirts, blue jeans, and that's part of the appeal. You can wear a hat if you choose, but it does fly off a lot when you run to first base.
Can you ride a horse?
No, because then how do you kick with the horse?
The horse could do the kicking.
Yeah, but see, then that's an automatic home run because that horse is going over the fence. I mean, let's just call it what it is. So, but yeah, no, fun times all around here on that event. So with that stuff going on. So
okay.
All right. So I'm going to mix it up a little bit. All right. So it is a sunny side up, but it's also what's over with me this week. Okay. I am about 220 pages in to There's Just One Problem. True Tales from the Former One-Time Seventh Most Powerful Person in WWE by Brian Gewirtz. This is a wrestling book. He was a writer for the WWE. He might still be in some capacity, but he works for $7 Production, which is The Rock's organization. And this book, I don't care if you are a wrestling fan, if you are not a wrestling fan, it is a laugh out loud. It is a laugh out loud book. He tells stories about what he did when he was writing for the WWE, something called Wrestler's Court, getting involved in once in a lifetime matches, his interaction with the other wrestlers, interaction with Vince McMahon, interaction with celebrities, celebrity guests, writing for Bob Barker. And he does this thing throughout all the chapters where he has asterisks. So there'll be a page where you're reading, there'll be an asterisk next to a sentence, and then you go down to the bottom, and he either makes a joke or explains it. It is a sit down and read it all at once if I had the time, because it is that good. I recommend it to anybody that just wants to enjoy a book and read it fast. This is it right here. You guys read it?
I recommend it myself. Fantastic book. Fantastic. I love it.
Madam?
Oh, he's going for his copy. There it is.
Well, there you have it.
I read
3
it
for
too.
3.
It's good. It's short, right?
Yeah, less than 250, 260.
I mean, the asterisks are like those are where a lot of the punchlines are. Right?
Yeah.
It's
I really enjoyed it.
He's a writer by profession, so his writing
Very witty.
Yeah, and it's written very like colloquially, where it's just how we speak. So it's easy to get through.
Mm-hmm.
I think it didn't. Sometimes it takes me a real long time to trudge through books, but this one I read very quickly.
Yeah, very easy to read.
Three eggs on that one. Huh?
3 eggs. I mean, I'm not even done yet, but it doesn't matter. I loved it in the first 20 pages. I loved it in the first chapter.
You didn't finish it yet?
I'm almost done.
Oh, okay.
But I know I love it because I'm about 220 into it. You know what I mean? Been wanting to talk about it. But
If you didn't have to waste an hour recording with us, you could not bang that out right now.
I could have, huh?
Yeah.
Also wanted to read a question from friend of the show, Devin Dowling.
Oh,
Kind of don't know where to put these sometimes, so I'll just do it now. Who would win an egg cooking contest? What would each of your number one egg dish be? So I'll leave it to my other eggs. Bryant, you can go first.
Oh, great question, Devin. I appreciate it. I can't cook eggs. I'm terrible at it. I don't recommend it. If I could, I would tag in Sue, who loves cooking eggs, cooks them all the time, makes fantastic egg dishes. So I'm going to tag out and say I will lose, but if I have to tag in Sue, she'll win doing either an omelet or she makes this like I can't describe. I don't know how to describe it other than like she like think of like an egg yolk, like a soft boiled egg, a little bit or soft egg yolk with, and but she trims it down to be like a real fine circle. I don't know how she does it. It's amazing to watch.
Matt?
my wife's pretty good cook too. She wouldn't tell you that, but she is. Um, I don't cook a lot in the kitchen. Most of the cooking I do is grilling outside.
Such a
But
man. Such a man.
but I do make eggs frequently. I love to make omelets. I'm not this great cook or anything, but I like to make omelets. And especially during like more COVID-y times when we had more time at home, I was doing a lot of like, let me chop this up and throw it in the omelet. What did we have last night? We got any more left over? Cut it up and put it in the omelet. But I can make a pretty good like Western omelet, which is like ham and peppers and onions. Dice them up, throw them in. I love all diced food. If I woke up tomorrow and we were in a different universe and everything I ate was diced, I would be a very happy man. So
I'm a decent, okay.
omelets, I make decent omelets.
Yeah. I'm a decent egg maker myself. My wife makes excellent omelets. She made me one for Father's Day. It was very good. Uh, I don't know if I'm the best egg maker. I make good eggs, but it sounds like Matt, I'm going to go ahead and give you the nod as the
Yeah.
winner because of the
Oh,
omelets.
clearly.
I don't
Oh,
do omelets, and I have done omelets, but I haven't done them successfully. So, Matt M, Devin
You win.
Dowling, we have a winner.
I'm a winner.
We have a winner.
when I tell my wife Sue this, she's gonna laugh. She's gonna laugh for the rest of her life. I won this badge of honor here.
So peek behind the curtain. When we were talking about doing this show, I actually said maybe we should consider all of us cooking eggs while we're telling our stories at the same time.
We did.
You did say
We
that.
did. We did say that.
Which,
We did. Yeah.
as you could see, I was voted down 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
Which I'm
picturing all of us like on screen beating an egg with a chef hat on, talking about wrestling and stories and everything else. Well, anyway, as you can see, that didn't work out. But
Yeah.
Matt, what's your sunny side up this week? Or egg whites?
that he won an egg contest here. Clearly.
I'll use that next week for
There
sunny
it is.
side up when I surely don't have anything. Okay, before we get to my actual sunny side up, Brad, you're gonna have to explain why you're drinking out of a classic Gatorade squirt bottle.
I went to the gym tonight, and Wednesday night is a gym night for me, and I am still drinking the water out of the bottle.
Oh, all right.
Not a delicious Gatorade.
Ooh, what is that?
Oh.
Cherry ice? Get the fuck out of here.
Glacier cherry. Of course it is.
Don't
Oh,
clip that. Don't clip that for the clips.
Of course not.
terrible. Terrible.
I like cherry ice.
Cherry anything in any form, including actual cherries, is terrible.
We'll get into that again later.
Guys, here's my sunny side up. The king is back. Joey Chestnut is back. That's right. 16-time winner of Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest. Current world record holder, 84 HDBs. That's hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. He did not enter last year's contest due to competing sponsorship deals. But this year, the legend is back. USA! USA!
Thank God for that. No, that's good.
Heck yes.
I'm glad he's back.
He won, I believe his first win was 2007. And he won every year consecutively, except somebody beat him in 2015. And last year he didn't enter because of the thing I just said. But every other year in that stretch, he has won.
No one thought Kobayashi could be stopped. He was just unstoppable. And then Joey Chestnut comes in and boom, America.
Shut him down years ago. many years ago. There's a great ESPN 30 for 30 about this.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely. Recommend it. Recommend it. Yes.
Sunny side up.
no, it's
Joey.
fantastic. So, all right, hard boiled. So, if you guys remember last week, well, it was at Friday last week, I got my roof on. So, there is some fine print on these estimates. Okay. And the fine print is this: if your plywood underneath the shingles is bad, there is a price per piece of plywood. This estimate is absolute bullshit. It is absolute bullshit. They know that after 20 years, your plywood is going to be bad. They just can't look at it. But if there's no situation with a 20-year-old roof or older where they're not replacing plywood, they're just pulling the old time, not my organization, car business, like your payment is $299 plus tax, which means it's not $299 and it's not with no money down. It's probably $7,000 down and it's probably $325. Same thing. I end up spending $2,000 more dollars than my estimate. Very, very, very hard boiled. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. You know, people say that you can compare it to the car business again, like say, like, well, what happens when you go into the finance office and you buy a $2,000 warranty? Not the same. You can decline that. I can't decline mine. I signed the fine print of saying that if they needed to replace it, they needed to replace it. And then they discounted it. Discounted it from what? Discounted it from what? It's just like when someone says, I was looking at maybe putting in a driveway, right? Or getting mine updated, and it says $200 off. Well, $200 off of what? Okay, there is no price. So it's $200 off of nothing. Your price is this. You're just $200 less than, you're just BSing me. I am being sold. Very hard boiled about that. Not in the budget. Definitely not in the budget. Especially not with those damn hedges coming out too.
Which you said you liked.
I do like. But I'd also like to eat again, you know?
I think you'll
Anyway, and one thing about wrestling that really annoys me is that Bill Goldberg, it's not that he's back. Okay. Bill Goldberg, for most of you that aren't wrestling fans, it really doesn't matter. You know who Goldberg is. It's almost like not knowing who Stone Cold is. He was the rival to Stone Cold in another organization in a way. He was the WCW's big star when Stone Cold was the WWF's big star. He is back for what was supposedly his last match. Supposedly his last match is the way they're in Atlanta, where he, it all started for him. His last match. Why in the world does his last match, once again, he always has to wrestle for a championship? When you bring a big star back, someone that's been out of the business for a number of years, they don't need to wrestle for a championship. They are the draw. Just them being there is the draw. Do you think The Undertaker, if he comes back for one more match, is going to wrestle for the championship? No. Stone Cold didn't. I don't understand why he always has to wrestle for the championship. If it is his last match, he's not going to win. Hard-boiled over bad creative and having to incorporate a championship for no reason whatsoever. You don't need it. It would be the same amount of people watching it, Matt. Same amount of people watching it, whether it was for the championship or not.
How much did Mike Whitaker pay you to do this?
I'm on Mike Whitaker's side. He will be mentioned later in the show as well.
As someone who also is not a fan of Bill Goldberg for two reasons. One,
I didn't say that. I said I'm not a fan of the championship.
Oh no! I'm not a fan of Goldberg, and I'm going to say this because one of them is that reason. I'm not a fan of him because he comes in and of his last run, we'll call it, they've all been title matches. There's no need for that. Like you said, there's no need. And second, I don't like him because the Fiend was on a roll. He was on top. And then they squashed him with Goldberg, and he was never the same.
For those of you that don't know who the Fiend is, it's Bray Wyatt, the late Bray Wyatt.
The late Bray Wyatt. It was his character or his reinvention into the Fiend, and it was the darker persona of his character, and it was the hottest thing in wrestling. And then they put him to Goldberg, who pinned him in like 2 minutes.
Excellent example. Excellent example.
You didn't need it. And so I've just always kind of resented Goldberg for that as well.
Go ahead, Matt. Talk about your bullshit right now, because we have bullshit eggs next, but I have a feeling we're going to hear it right now.
So I've been a little busy and I haven't even gotten to the point where I've seen Goldberg come back, although I had a feeling he was. I don't mind him or what his deal usually is. I mind like the spot for somebody else going away, that part of it. Um, I am gonna have to call bullshit on the problem with the Fiend though, because the Fiend was riddled with problems and would not have come out successful even without the Goldberg match. There were
Mm.
so many missteps there. The entire Wyatt family for the last 12 years has gotten nowhere. So there you have it.
Um, I don't think it helped anything.
No, it didn't. It didn't. When I think of the Fiend, I think of the Hell in a Cell match.
Okay, and I
Oh
knew
yeah,
that was coming. I knew that was coming.
yeah, yeah,
When
I
I
mean,
think
that
of the
is,
Fiend, I think of the Funhouse.
yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for letting me rant, guys. That's all I had this week. Not a whole lot, but it was enough to. I was very irritated. So now we have bullshit eggs. Now this is a new topic alert.
New topic alert.
So all this is, it's not even a thing. I don't even know what a bullshit egg is, but it's a new thing, and basically means we call bullshit on this. Whatever we have picked, we call bullshit on it. So, Bryant, you're first.
Oh man, I love this. So I'm gonna call bullshit on so I keep getting these notifications. I see them on my sports calendars. I see them in sports talking about doing these stories on how we're a year away from the World Cup in America. The World Cup is coming to America. We're going to host the World Cup, and all of a sudden, we're all going to care about soccer. I call bullshit. No one cares about soccer. Outside of the United States, everyone could love soccer on the outside of the United States. But if you tell me, as a person who lives in the United States, that I have suddenly masterfully cared about soccer to care about this one event, I call bullshit. No one, I don't think anyone can name at least 3 people on that team for the American team. And then suddenly we're all patriots who cheer for soccer. And I care about, no one cares about soccer. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I call bullshit on your fandom of soccer for the World Cup.
Excellent bullshit eggs.
So I don't care for soccer. I was at this house though recently, mini TV house, where they had soccer on, and he was wearing a jersey. Couldn't believe it.
I love those jerseys with all the sponsors on them.
Yeah,
I'm not,
it's
but
essentially a
I would say,
sponsorship.
but I would say that you like overall, most of us don't care about soccer.
Nobody cares. But yeah, but then when it comes, it's like, oh, we all care. We've cared for so long. Nobody cares. Nobody.
Yeah.
Where have you been the rest of the time?
So I want to say one thing. As previously established, I live pretty close to a major stadium, and that will be one of the places hosting some of the games next year.
Mhm.
And the town that neighbors the town I live in is supposedly adding a traffic light to a troubled intersection nearby, with the World Cup being the impetus for this, because we're expecting increased, people and traffic and stuff. Now that I'm a very big fan of, because it is a terrible intersection and it desperately needs a traffic light. So I'm actually very excited about that. Whenever we have like a major event in the year leading up to it, they like spruce the place up. Like I can remember when the World Cup was here in the 90s, they paved all the highways. When the Super Bowl was here 10 years ago, whenever that was, same thing. They're paving roads, they're sprucing everything up. They give everything a nice facelift because there's a lot of visitors expected.
I like that.
Sometimes something good can come from bullshit.
So some good can come from soccer. Who knew?
Mm.
All right. I like Munchos made by Frito-Lay. They're like an airy
Oh
potato
my
crisp.
God, that is the worst. But it's the opposite of kettle cooked.
I enjoy them. I think they're very tasty. But I'm going to read you the first line of Wikipedia about Munchos. Munchos are a potato chip snack manufactured from dehydrated potatoes by Frito-Lay. Munchos are somewhat similar to Lay's Stacks and Pringles, which are also made from dried potatoes. Bullshit. Lay's Stacks and Pringles, which I enjoy both, are in no way the same
No way.
as freaking Munchos. Not even close. They're completely different taste, completely different texture. I can't even believe this is written here. Who in the world is proofreading this bullshit? Bullshit egg.
Why were you looking at the Wikipedia page for Munchos?
I don't know. I don't know how it came up, but it did. But I'm right. It's a bullshit egg. Pringles and Stacks, Lay's Stacks are not the same as a Muncho. That is a bullshit statement.
It is a bullshit statement. We're
Yeah.
2 for 2 on bullshit.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
Well, I like this one a lot, but you
Sure you
guys
do.
aren't allowed to do the laundry at your house, so this might not hit so good. But I'm calling bullshit on tumble dry low. You guys know what that means?
No.
Okay. Are you aware that clothing garments have tags on the interior that have wash and dry instructions on them?
Yes.
Almost every piece of clothing you own says tumble dry low. Now, what that means is tumble dry, which means use your machine, your dryer, your tumbler, but use the low setting. Don't use too much heat. Put it on low. Now, anytime I do the laundry, I've got it on high or medium high, which is, neighboring high. If you wash something on low, or if you dry something on low, let me tell you what happens at the end of that cycle. It ain't dry. Even if there's just one article of clothing in there getting all the attention from the dryer, still not coming out dry. Bullshit. They're trying to cover their ass, and it's fucking bullshit.
All right. It's been a long time. I think I know what you mean. It's been a while.
Well,
I'll take your word for it.
you're aware that dryers are fueled by gas, which creates heat, which dries the moisture from the washer.
I don't know if I was aware of that.
I feel like I just learned something here today.
I don't know how I'm not going to tell you how I knew how it worked. I just know what it's supposed to do is dry
Oh,
clothes.
that made me laugh.
I feel like you could have made that up and I would have bought it.
Yeah, man. I think the whole thing could have been bullshit. The whole state, everything you said. Who knows? Bryant, this is a gift for you. Easter
Haven't
egg.
haven't done this in a while.
I,
So
I, I saw this on the outline and I was like, oh, that'll be fun.
It will be fun.
so I'm gonna just do 3 of them tonight, guys. I want to try to make sure we had a keep it with the time here a little bit. So Easter eggs, we're talking about little hidden meanings, little hidden things in movies, television, whatever we're going for today. So on that note, have you guys seen the movie The Departed?
Yeah. Been a while, but yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm pretty sure that came out in 2006, which is 19 years ago, and I only saw it the one time,
Me
and I
too.
loved it, and I'm a little upset that I never saw it again.
Oh.
It's not a rewatch.
See, and that's
Scorsese movies are too long.
some of them are. I will agree with that. Some Scorsese movies are too long. So, but there's a common theme that goes through the movie, and it's one of those things that if you don't catch it right away, you might not notice it. But in The Departed, right before every murder scene or every scene where someone is murdered, there's an X in that scene. Somewhere in each scene, you see an X. The X signifies to I'm guessing the director, to the people at home, that little nuanced thing of, hey, something's about to happen here. And I thought that was just an interesting tie-in to kind of, if you're not catching it right away or you're not paying attention to that little detail, but when you see it, it's kind of that thing that goes, okay, something might be happening right now.
What Scorsese chat room did you see this in, or did you come up with this on your own?
This one is one that I saw, and then I kind of dug into it. And that's how I got my confirmation on it.
Very
so,
good.
Yeah, this one did a little bit of research on my own here. So the next one we're going to talk about is the movie Deadpool. Everybody loves Deadpool, right? I mean, who doesn't love Ryan Reynolds in that and everything? And the one thing I want to talk about, though, that kind of maybe gets a little overlooked is the chalkboard scene here, where it's the wagers on who's going to die next. And the names on here, I don't know if it's ever really kind of been gone over a little bit. And it just makes me laugh that, Ryan Reynolds' name is on this. TJ Miller, who is also the person in the bar, his name is on this list. And their characters didn't even pick themselves. Wade picked somebody else. You didn't even pick Ryan Reynolds. What are you doing? Pick your own name. At least pick yourself, because you know you're going to win because you're not going to die.
Hmm.
But it does make me laugh. We've got Bill Cosby on here, Charlie Sheen, Kanye West. You've got Mike Tyson. You've got Willie Nelson. Let's see. Who are some other fun names on here? We got Lindsay Lohan. Amanda Bynes is on here. Just some funny names. And it's just fun. Like I said, it's just funny to see the actors not even choosing themselves for this.
I have a comment.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that R. Liefeld is Rob Liefeld, the creator of the comic book character.
That is correct. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that for the poll there.
And is that Ozzy Osbourne?
Yes, it is.
Is that
Oh.
Ned Beatty?
Yes, that would be Ned Beatty as well.
Shia LaBeouf.
I do appreciate that Tad here picked Vladimir Putin. Pretty sure you're not going to win that one.
K-Rock. Kid Rock.
Yep. So some fun there on that. And then for the final one, I'm going to choose one of my favorite movies that came out in 2007 is I Am Legend, starring Will Smith. I thought it was a fantastic movie. The concept of, this disease turning all these people into, I don't want to say mutants, but, kind of these different creatures that, feast on, surviving people. But there's an interesting scene in there in the beginning of the movie when Will Smith is driving through New York. And in the background on the billboard is advertising a movie. Now, I want to just reiterate, this is 2007. But in the background, when he drives through New York in Times Square, you see the movie poster for Batman and Superman. Now, Batman vs. Superman would not come out as a movie until 2016, which is the Zack Snyder movie. But I always found this interesting because it was something I always saw when I would watch the movie because, it catches my eye. It's the Batman, but to see that the foreshadowing was there already for that tie-in for the movie, and a movie that had not even been discussed really, except animation-wise, which there had been several Justice League movies at that point. But to see what they would consider, a live-action version was something that's always kind of caught my eye when speaking of I Am Legend.
Interesting. I didn't realize it when I saw that it was that long beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there's it's a 9-year difference from this movie to the actual movie that came out.
A definite Easter egg. Very well done with all 3 Easter eggs. What do you got? About 30,000 of these?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I could keep going for days, weeks if I wanted to. There's so much content out there for this stuff. And yeah, I've actually started creating a folder just so I could save some of these for future episodes.
Doing the work. Okay, I don't think I've seen I Am Legend. What is that?
How have you not seen I Am Legend? That movie's fantastic.
I'm thinking iRobot. Was he in 2 movies that started with the letter I?
He did do iRobot as well. Yes. I Am Legend is where he's a doctor and there's this strain that comes out that starts plaguing people all across the world, where it turns them kind of into mutant zombies essentially. And they kind of go on and they attack everyone. They attack people. That's how they essentially feast. And Will Smith uses the movie as a way to try to find a cure because he's trying to save humanity at the same time. And it's him and his German Shepherd dog, which, oh my God, that scene, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Gut wrenching. But yeah, no, it's a fantastic movie. I recommend, if you have not seen it, please go see it.
Well, now that I know that an important character is a dog, I assure you I will not watch it.
Of course. Yeah.
All right, guys, it's omelet time. And we asked for egg participation in this one. It is going to be your top 6 favorite cartoon characters from your childhood. Who would like to go first?
I will go first. Why not? I don't care. I don't mind. I'm going to twist a little bit. I'm doing one from non-childhood just because I want to.
The rules were the rules.
Fine. You know what? Then I'll make that my honorable mention and move my honorable mention in. So for me,
too easy. It was too easy.
My number 1 cartoon character without a doubt for me, it's Bugs Bunny.
You started at 1?
Yeah, because he's my favorite.
Great build-up.
Yeah, no offense. Yeah.
1. I can't wait to hear what 6 is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the rest of them are in no particular order, so I don't really care. Now, so I got to go Bugs Bunny first, just because I got to get this one out of the way. I still have some stuffed animals. I still have pillows. I still have the cartoons. Love Bugs. He's been my favorite character since youth to now. I still watch Bugs Bunny cartoons. The voice has changed, but I still watch him. He is amazing. He's fantastic. I love him.
I'm a fan.
Then for my next one, I'm gonna go for Tommy from the Rugrats. He was I'm gonna say the de facto leader. I don't know if I want to say that. They were always at his house though, so I'm gonna say he's the leader. Led all the adventures and was kind of the one kind of spearheading a lot of stuff. His parents are. I love his dad Stu as well. I think he's hilarious. But I picked Tommy from Rugrats.
I would also like to jump in here and say that Michael Whitaker also picked Tommy Pickles from Rugrats.
Tommy
Yes.
Pickles. I knew
Tommy Pickles. So for the next one, I'm going to go for Timmy Turner from the Fairly Odd Parents.
Very good.
I was torn between that one and Cosmo. I'll be honest. I love Cosmo as well. But Timmy with his adventures, with the wishes, and just the all-around shenanigans that he goes through. And at 8 years old, already falling in love with Wendy was kind of odd to me, but whatever. But Timmy, I will go with Timmy from Fairly Odd Parents. I'm gonna go with Ed Double D from Ed, Edd and Eddy. Ed Double D was always the kind of the brains. He would come up with the contraptions, the inventions. He was the brains behind the three of them, between Ed, Edd, and Eddy, obviously. And he was the brains behind it. He would come, and he just was the kind of the glue that kept everything together between the three of them. So I have to go with Double D for that.
So I would also like to say that Devin Dowling, friend of the show, went with Eddie from Ed, Edd and Eddy.
And there's nothing wrong with Eddie either. He has the best one-liners in that show. He gave me one of my favorite, I'm not going to call it jokes, but tongue twisters of my life that I still tell people to this day, which, by the way, you cannot say toy boat 5 times fast.
I believe it.
Try that later, kid. Try that later, kids. Then I'm going to go for next. I'm going to go for Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life. He's a wallaby, I believe is what they eventually said he was. And he had his friend Heifer, his dogs, and he had a job working in a burger place. And it's just a odd Nickelodeon cartoon that made no sense, but it was just hilarious to watch each episode because they took it so far in a weird direction that you didn't know what you were getting each week. So.
And also, friend of the show, Michael Whitaker also picked Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life.
I love it. Nice. And then for my final one, I have to go with Goofy. I love Goofy. He's always been my favorite of the Disney characters. Who doesn't love a Goofy movie? One of the best movies ever. I still will watch it to this day. I love that movie. Just different character. The aw shucks of his nature, I always thought was hilarious. So, and he's a dog, but Pluto can't talk. Anyway, not the point.
That was
here.
always the issue.
So
Why was Pluto the pet? Why was Pluto the pet, but Goofy the friend?
Exactly. Yeah, there's no explanation for it.
None.
But that is my that's my list there.
And didn't you have a honorable mention you wanted to mention?
Oh, I was gonna go for Morty from Rick and Morty. Throwing a current one for some people who know. Morty's the sidekick.
Disqualified.
Does all the adventures. There you go. Disqualified, as I heard. So
very good list, Bryant. Thank you for your participating. All right, Matt, this ought to be good.
So the age gap is prevalent here because I don't know what Fairly Odd Parents or Ed, Edd and Eddy are.
Ah, great choice.
Ed, Edd and Eddy makes me think of Pete and Pete, which is not a cartoon, but was a show from my childhood.
I do know Pete and Pete as well. I do
Very
know that
bizarre. So on my list, I have Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Cowabunga. Come on now.
Also, Mike Whitaker has Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I think is a fine answer.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Now we've got another repeat here because I also have Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life.
Yes.
3 of you.
Love that show. That was like second gen Nicktoons.
It was.
I wanted to mention they actually had like a movie come out like 5 years ago. I don't know if you saw that, Brian. You
I
probably did.
did. Yeah, of course I did. Fantastic.
Of course you did. How about Doug? Do 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 do. Doug, come on, from the show Doug.
Now,
I know who he is.
are you going Nickelodeon Doug or Disney Doug?
Didn't the original Nicktoon?
Thank you. Okay.
I didn't know there was.
Thank God for that.
Yes. Yeah. No, there was a Disney version of
Almost
Doug.
screwed
It
up.
came out. Yeah.
Didn't know. Yeah, okay.
There you go.
Now I'm gonna go with another Nicktoon here. Now these weren't in any order, but I'm gonna go with this is my favorite, and this is two characters, Ren and Stimpy. Man, do I love Ren and Stimpy. And I think I may have mentioned them on the show a long time ago because they had their original run as a Nicktoon, one of the original Nicktoons in the 90s. And then later on, there was Ren and Stimpy's adult party cartoon, which aired on Spike TV, which was just a little bit more mature version of the show. Fantastic nonsense. Both of them are amazing.
Yeah, but you cheated because there's two of them. But go ahead.
Why not cheat?
That's one. Not so. That's both of them. They're two
Yes,
different.
Ren
Okay, so
and
one,
Stimpy.
two. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I put Ren higher.
Okay, I understand. But okay.
Now I only have one slot left, and I'm really proud of this one. Gizmo Duck from DuckTales and Darkwing Duck. Not a major character, but he was like a duck cyborg that Scrooge hired to be like security guard for like his money tower. And he also appeared on Darkwing Duck. And he wasn't like an every episode character, but I just thought he was really cool because he was like this robot duck who had like all these gizmos. I mean, come on, what a pick.
So, friend of the show, Michael Whitaker picked the Darkwing Duck.
Okay.
So, yeah.
There you go.
All right. So I'm going to read the other ones from friends of the show because they were very excited to give us their list. So also, I've already mentioned the other ones, but Devin Dowling picked TJ from Recess.
Oh, that's a good one. I love that. Recess is great too.
Wouldn't know. Arnold from Hey Arnold.
Another good one.
Danny Phantom from Danny Phantom.
Couldn't get in that one, so I get it though.
Beast Boy from Teen Titans. Wait. Blue from Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends.
I thought you were about to say Blue from Blue's Clues, but okay.
Yeah, I would have rather had that. And then we said about Eddie. And then the other one's from Mike Whitaker. Donnie from the Wild Thornberries. Ickis from Real Monsters.
That's a good one too.
We named the rest of them. Now, there is definitely an age gap here. Okay, and it's going to be very, very clear on this list. So we're going to start at the bottom with this are no particular order.
Yeah, I was about to say Steamboat Willie.
Well, he's lost his IP now, so I'm out on that. So the only one I'm going to say is my number one is the last one. The other one could be in any particular order. But Snoopy from the Peanuts. I always enjoyed Snoopy because he had a lot of personality. He gave his master a hard time all the time. His best friend, for some reason, was a bird. But the real ornery part of him, and the word ornery means, obstinate, you don't listen. He slept on top of his house, his dog house. It's just saying, I ain't doing it. All right. I'm not doing it. I'm not sleeping in the house. I'm sleeping on top of it just to piss you off. Love Snoopy. And he's a beagle. Everybody loves a good beagle. Skeletor from He-Man. Skeletor is one of those villains that lives on today. Like you see him on many t-shirts today, more so than He-Man. He is the ultimate bad guy, never ever, not one bit likable, but he was comical as well. So, Skeletor. Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Pothead. Had to, eat the Snoopy snacks. Thought his dog talked. He's the only one that heard it.
Now, that is not, now that you're suggesting he's a pothead.
Sir. It depends on which, I'm suggesting. From the van.
Suggestions, please.
I'm pretty sure it's Shaggy's van. I think Fred just drives it.
Nickelodeon or the Disney?
The original, Where Are You, Scooby-Doo? Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? But they're all good. They're all good. Now, we've talked about this one before. The Coyote from Looney Tunes. Funny. He got a bad rap. Very excited for the future movie. He got into a lot of trouble just trying to find the Roadrunner, but he's gonna get his due. He is going to get his due, and we're going to find out sometime in 2026. All right, this is a reach. So when I was a kid, there was the Muppet Babies, and I don't mean the new Muppet Babies. I mean the original Muppet Babies. So it was like Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy were all babies in a nursery. I don't know where this concept came from, but it was very entertaining for a kid, and it was almost better for a kid than the original Muppet Show because the Muppet Show was more adult humor, but Muppet Babies was for kids, and it was always it was an imaginary. They were in their own minds. But my favorite character on the show wasn't on every week. He was brought over occasionally to visit, and that was Bunsen from Bunsen and Beaker. He would come over and Manny, I can't remember if it was Mammy or Manny, would drop them in the middle of the nursery. Bunsen had no eyes, yet had glasses. One of my favorite things ever. I just love to look at him. And when he was a baby, it was even better. Finally, this is my favorite cartoon character of all time, and he is on my ankle. Barney Rubble, the sidekick to Fred Flintstone. Lovable Barney, hot wife, kind of went with the flow, but obviously was the smarter one. I would say so.
You could do a Robin's Eggs feature on him in the future.
But definitely my number one. And on my ankle, Barney Rubble. But definitely you can see the age gap here.
What? I don't know what you're talking about at all here. No.
Why is he on your ankle?
When I was 20, I thought it was a good idea.
Every idea at 20 is a great
Here
idea.
we are 30 years later. And I'm actually thinking about getting it touched up and just embracing it now.
Yeah, why not?
Because I thought about going over it because as I got older, I'm like, what was I doing? What was I doing? But now his hair is all discolored. And I'm like, you know what? Let me embrace it. Barney Rubble. Why not? So that's it, guys. That was fun. And I think you know what's coming in a few weeks. Very enjoyable. So, Matt, no, wait, not yet. Golden Eggs. I don't know. Was there a last second rewrite, Matt?
Yes, there was.
I don't think you're sure.
I am sure because I did homework for something. I had a lot of homework to do this week. Like a lot.
So, Golden Eggs is a movie review.
Okay.
So, but Matt, if you had something else, that's okay.
No, I got a movie review. I just watched a new movie the other day. Now, this is just a movie I watched recently. It doesn't mean that I thought it was an A+. It is called Echo Valley. It was on Apple TV Plus, starring Julianne Moore and Sydney Sweeney. It was a suspense thriller kind of movie. Now, right off the bat, I love that. I love a good case. I like something mysterious or interesting or controversial happening, and then you got to try to figure it out, like an episode of Law and Order or something. I like to think we can all agree that Julianne Moore is a fantastic actress. And I also think Sydney Sweeney, I mean, not only is she not very attractive, but I think she has a lot of range as an actress. She's done a lot of different things. She's done serious stuff. She's done comedy. She plays a junkie in this movie, like a troubled junkie, the daughter of Julianne Moore. The movie itself was okay. If you like a good case, you're going to enjoy it. It keeps your interests, and it's not dull, it's not boring, it's not slow. There's a couple of twists and turns. The acting is top notch. It's very dark and sort of mysterious feeling, which I enjoy. Out of 3 eggs, I would probably give it 2.25.
Okay. I'm a fan of Sydney Sweeney and of Julianne Moore as well. I like Julianne Moore in Boogie Nights. I think my favorite movie that she was ever in. Not for the dirty reasons, just because she played such a great character in that. Just misunderstood maybe. But I will not buy Sydney Sweeney's bathwater soap, even though I do buy Dr. Squatch soap. I think that's just weird. The bathwater in your soap. Like, what do you think's gonna come out of that, guys? Like, seriously.
Is this a real thing or like some?
Oh no,
real?
this is 100% real. 100% real. Yeah.
She's behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the face of it.
Yeah, she's the face of that Sasquatch bar soaps now.
Okay.
So just so you know, I passed on it because I do get the other soaps. Because it's just stupid to me. And it makes me feel a little creepy, actually. But all right, good job, Matt.
He's like half your age.
Yeah, not quite. But anyway, so I recently went to the movies and I told you guys about this. If you are looking for something to watch with your kid, that you will also enjoy. How to Train Your Dragon's a movie for you. It is I wouldn't say for little kids. I wouldn't say anything under 7, but maybe 7 and up would be okay because there are dragons in it, and they're not cartoon dragons. They're dragons. They're as close to what you would think a dragon would look like, and you get some really up close of it. Fire breathing, jumps out of nowhere at you. Even if with a 7-year-old and maybe a 10-year-old, I probably wouldn't recommend the 3D because that is a little scary. But the story's good. It kind of, it's like to me, like there's these movies, like maybe Night at the Museum. They're PG and they're for the whole family. And these are why these movies do so well. If you're looking for a movie for the whole family, this is a great movie. Like it's not too young for you and it's not too old for them. So highly recommend. The effects were great. They of course the dragons weren't real, so the CGI was really good. The acting was good. A lot of new faces in it, and 3 out of 3 eggs for me.
You're such a PG guy.
I don't judge by the rating.
I don't.
Like a good
I
movie.
mean, you, not the movie.
I'm very much against the PG era of the WWE, but whatever.
Oh, okay. I agree too.
I'm just
I have a theory on that.
Awesome.
I,
Well, go ahead.
I think the PG era, and no one will ever admit it, has to do with Linda McMahon's running for office.
it was 100% the reason.
Yeah.
They even admitted that.
I never heard anybody admit that.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
yeah, it would also have to do with it becoming a national or not a private company anymore
No, that was years later.
after 2001.
Yeah, it
they,
was
they went public in 1999 and they didn't go PG until 2008.
there you go. Johnny on the spot.
1999.
Yeah, because they went public right before October of 99 because if you also they tie into My World with Jeff Jarrett, he talks about before he left he had stock options.
Yeah.
What you're
I heard that
googling
on
is
the-
what
yeah.
you're googling is the name change.
The
Okay.
name change was 01. Yeah, the name change was 02. So
All right,
I-
let's proceed.
so also just sad to know there's no real dragons now. No, I don't know if I want to watch it. Anyway,
You spoiled that for us.
so the movie that I have recently seen that I've enjoyed is a movie called Sinners.
Hmm.
It is starring Michael B. Jordan, and it is fantastic movie. It is rated R, so I don't know if it's in Brad's wheelhouse, but we'll go for that later here. But kind of the synopsis: it's about Michael B. Jordan. He plays twin brothers in the movie, Smoke and Stack, and they're basically coming back home to Mississippi to restart their lives. They had worked for the bootleggers in Chicago, and now they're coming back to start their own business in the South. And it is I'll go spoiler, even though it's been in the commercials, it is a vampire movie as well. So these people come it's also about the blues and a kind of a history behind blues music and what blues music means as well. So that was kind of something interesting for me to learn about. But it's a fantastic movie. Kind of a different twist of a vampire movie, but it's also just kind of seeing how people would work together. And it's kind of that 1920s, 1930s, still racism of, black and white, but it's kind of seeing that other side of seeing and just seeing how people come together to, stop this attack, really. So
I've heard great things.
fantastic movie. 3 eggs for me. I recommend to anyone of age, of course, to see the movie. But
Will I be disturbed?
no.
Okay, good. I don't like being disturbed.
The I would say it's weird to say like this. The most horrific part is just watching someone get bitten. But I mean, you
But
can
that's
handle
cool.
someone.
I can deal with gore.
Yeah, I mean, if it's and that's it. I mean,
PG Brad says, I don't want to be disturbed.
I don't like disturbing movies.
no,
Like Requiem
I mean-
for a Dream.
Yeah, like Requiem for a Dream.
So I really want to see Sinners. That's high on my list. I think Michael B. Jordan's very talented.
Mhm.
I think he's got a really bright future in front of and behind the camera. I'm pretty sure he directed Creed 3.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
So,
But yeah, and playing the twin brother role, I think that's something that kind of
nice.
helped him stand out. Of he could
I
play
like
the two characters and show the different styles.
Yeah. Good job, guys.
All right, Matt. Get another gift. Raw eggs.
It's so much homework.
But you don't.
Alright,
You
so
already have stuff on your mind, so it just spit it
I
out.
I do. I have notes in my phone. I when I'm driving, I got the Apple Intelligence turned on. I just talk to it. Brian, I
Cool.
sent you a photo earlier in the week. So this is a bit of a companion piece to prior raw eggs that I did. Brad, do you know what creature this is?
Yeah. It's a damn it. I do
Mm-mm-mm.
know what it is.
Clock stick.
I can't remember the name. Go ahead.
It's a capybara.
I didn't know that.
It is the largest living rodent native to South America. Now, if you're only listening, it looks like a giant furry rodent, like a groundhog that like ate a mushroom from Alice in Wonderland and grew a bit. A capybara is a highly social species and can be found in groups as large as 100 individuals, usually living in groups of 10 or 20. The capybara is hunted for its meat and its hide, and also for the grease from its thick, fatty skin. Yuck. Adult capybaras grow to be 3.5 to 4.5 feet in length and can be 77 to 146 pounds. Yuck again. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, on a previous raw eggs, I talked about the axolotl, another weird creature, and how it seemingly became popular out of nowhere. Well, the same thing's happening with the capybara. In recent years, for some reason, it's become popular in meme culture, and now they're all over my life in my house. My son's got stuffed animals, we've got decorations, we've got one of those giant blow-up hammers that you would get from like throwing the dart at the balloon at a street fair. They're all over my house. This disgusting creature. They're marketing it as this cute kid stuff. I mean, I already told you it was the largest living rodent. Like, what is going on here? Why are we cutifying these disgusting creatures?
But it actually looks cute, especially the babies.
Why don't you pet it? I tell you what, why don't you hunt it for its meat and its hide, and also take its grease?
I think there should be a new uh Disney cartoon movie with starring the Capabana.
Capybara. Yeah, it's called Capybara versus Axolotl.
Yeah,
There it is.
Like
who would
Batman
win?
versus
Ah,
Superman.
I think I don't know what to say, Matt. I
Let's
don't know what to
let's
say.
get rid of that photo.
I had so many questions when I got this sent to me, and I immediately was just like, "I'm gonna wait for the show."
So you have
Like,
a lot of these in your house, huh?
I I was gonna say, how many of these do your son own? Stuffed animals
I'm
at this
probably
point.
two, probably we call them stuffies. Probably two stuffies, the blow up hammer, and some sort of like sticker book or something. That's too much.
Yeah,
It makes me pine for the axolotl.
that's saying something when you're
I think
wishing you
once a
had that
week
back.
you should bring in one of these toys that bother you so much.
I agree with this. I
Yeah,
agree with
it's
this.
not it's not like the fact. Okay, all right, I don't know what to say.
I get that.
Man, I'll tell you what, of all the raw eggs that I thought you were going to talk about,
Yeah.
that wasn't no
I
idea.
mean, I've been waiting for this to come up this whole show to being like, when are we going to talk about this? And then I realized you had the final segment. I was like, oh, there it is. Okay.
There it is, the
The SNL spot.
SNL slot.
All right, Matt, hit us with the socials.
You know how to book that slot. I gotta say. Well, I had a lot of fun this episode. And we are five toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat are better than one. Cooking up every Monday morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcast. Find us on YouTube at 3 Eggs Are Better Than One. The number 3, the letter R, the number 1. Follow us on X, Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok at 3 Eggs Are Better. The number 3, the letter R, and our individual accounts at SManBrad, at BHarumza, and I am at Purple Shirt Guy without the I. Give us those 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts and interact with us in the YouTube comments. Next week we've got Bryant, I think.
Yes, that would be me. So next week it's gonna also be some homework. Yay,
Yes.
everyone.
Yes.
So
Love homework.
this comes off the discussion of something we've talked about a little bit on the show, but also some stuff that I've talked about behind the scenes with some family members as well, some friends. We're going to discuss. So I'm going to talk about different shows, but I want you guys to come to the table with this as well. TV shows that are highly successful, highly rated, but I'm giving the cutoff at only went 2 seasons. Short-lived shows that were successful, but for some reason couldn't make the cut to continue on.
I can
So
think
2
of one
seasons
already.
total or up to 2 seasons?
2 seasons total. Like it ended at 2 seasons.
So I can't do 1 season.
No, it could be 1 season.
Okay.
It has to go. It can go no more than 2 seasons. If it went 1 season, that counts.
I love this topic.
So
I already wrote 2 down.
Yeah, this is sparked. Yeah, this is sparked from an argument.
Yeah, I know which one you wrote down, Brad. The fucking Joe's Real Life Dreams or whatever that
Hey, it wasn't highly rated.
No, your guys's don't have to be highly rated if you don't want them to be. That's fine.
You said highly successful too. It wasn't successful.
Well, no, the ones that I'm going to talk about are highly successful shows that only went 2 seasons.
Can it just be that we loved it and it didn't last?
Yeah, that sounds like that's cheating.
Yeah, if you want to, I'll
do
give you
some homework, Matt.
I'll give you some option. I'll give you an option.
This is like my podcast, at least 1/3. So I'm going to do it how I want to do it.
It's definitely on your time.
So this is true too. I'll give you that. So well, we want to thank you guys for joining us this week. We've had a lot of fun talking about some movies, some TV, some shows, some cartoon characters that we've all loved throughout our lives here. And we just thank you for joining us. As we said, leave some comments, leave some reviews. We love hearing from you guys. We love interacting with you all. So the egg timer's been set. We'll see you guys next week.